Well, hello. Again, I'm back for another update. I am now out on the Shenandoah River in Virginia. I was not able to get a multi-day trip in because of COVID. They only have limited paddling options, so I took the 7-mile paddle, which was the longest, and I even added some to it by paddling upriver about a mile to this set of rapids. It's a minor set of rapids. I tried to get up above it, but couldn't quite make it. So I'm turning around. I'm heading back down now. I've already seen large numbers of huge snapping turtles on logs on each side of the river. Seen 2 deer. Seen a blue heron. And so now I'm going to start heading down. I'm probably going to stop on an island, have some lunch, and continue on. There are some cliffs on the right side of the river that I'm going to try to get a video of. So the current is the current is about running 2 miles per hour, they said. There is another class 2 set of rapids up ahead where they put in just past there. I'm not sure if I'm going to run it or not. I do not have a waterproof bag. You can go around it. There's a channel that will get you around it if you don't want to run those rapids. There's a little dragonfly landing on the boat. But yeah, I took an Uber over yesterday, and I'm staying at the Super 8 in Front Royal till Monday. Rooms were pretty reasonable in price, and seems like the town's been pretty quiet. Of course, weekend is coming. Maybe it will pick up. I went on a hike yesterday along the Skyline Drive. There is a trail that follows parallel to that. There's a nice rock outcropping right there. Lots of huge sycamore trees lining the banks. So my satellite finally loaded, and I have current data to work from. Again, the tropics, there's a lot of hype, but not much to show for it right now. We have 2 systems in the Atlantic, but they're not really developing at the moment much. Although they do cover a large area of circulation and there are showers and thunderstorms, at the moment neither seem to be developing. They're the type of systems I described in some videos back, which I feel is going to be a new regime for tropical weather systems where they cover a larger area and are not as concentrated overall. It seems like most of the systems are that way, coming under a nice sycamore here. And some cliffs along the side here. So one of the systems, the one in the Western Caribbean, it's a disorganized large area of showers and thunderstorms. They're saying it's going to move up toward Texas. I kind of think it's going to break off into two pieces. One's probably going to head across Central America into the Pacific, and the northern part is probably going to head perhaps into the Gulf and then take a run at the Florida Panhandle perhaps. Though that system does not seem like it's going to develop into a hurricane, at least at this time. It may get into a depression, maybe even a tropical storm when it gets into the Gulf. There's a dragonfly kind of playing tag with my boat. Nice blue shade to it. And as you hear, there's some airplanes. It must be the flight path going into Dulles Airport. Getting back to what I was saying, that's the system in the Western Caribbean. There's another one to the east, out over the Atlantic, and that seems to be another large area of circulation, but again, it's not really organizing, and it's a lot less impressive looking than a couple days ago. And they're saying this is going to go toward the Florida Keys. Again, what we got working here also is these two systems are going to kind of collide and get too close to really, they're going to feed off each other kind of when they get into the Gulf. So probably neither one of them is going to develop into anything much by the looks of it, at least right now. But they're really hyping it up, saying the tropics are so busy. I did some research back from the seasons of the 70s when things were quiet, and just about every season back then we got two major hurricanes in the Atlantic, and we have yet to see one this year. There's another system coming off Africa, and it's yet another huge circulation that probably is going to do what the others did. It's going to go across the Atlantic. I don't see it developing into anything huge, at least right now. So the tropics are pretty quiet at the moment. On the Pacific side, that system off Baja did move into the southern tip of Baja California, and it's now weakened into a tropical depression, and it's starting to dissipate. However, the moisture from this system will probably get up into Arizona. Already some of it's getting up into Arizona, and it's going to help with the maybe quell the heat a little bit there. Bring some rain next couple days. Pretty much for the rest of the tropics, there's not much going on. Pretty inactive everywhere else. In the northern hemisphere, there are 5 major low pressure systems. 1 over Great Britain, 1 over central Russia, 1 over Kamchatka, 1 over Newfoundland, Canada. And so these weather systems are dominating the northern hemisphere jet stream flow. There's 5 waves in it right now. Trough over the east, the ridge continues over the west. In the U.S. Trough continuing over the eastern Pacific. There's 2 dragonflies kind of hooked on to one another. So I met 2 interesting people yesterday. One was the Uber driver. He was from Korea, Seoul, Korea. He grew up in Seoul, Korea, came here to this country, and is thinking about, well, he's getting close to retiring. He wants to go to New Zealand as a missionary with his wife, or Aruba, one of the 2. The other person I met was trying to find some gear for my long distance hike I'm planning, and asked some questions, and the woman in the store had climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. And so that was very interesting to talk about that experience. And she talked about somebody from New Jersey she knew who made 3 attempts to climb Mount Everest, and she was telling me that it costs $100,000 to make a climb on Mount Everest. So he tried twice, didn't make it first 2 times. 3rd time, he figured he'd hire a guide for only $60,000 and save some money, but he lost his life, unfortunately, on 3rd attempt. And the woman was telling me that tried to save $40,000 and it cost him his life. And here goes a blue heron in the distance. So yes, Mount Everest can be very unforgiving. So, weather in the southern hemisphere, Australia remains very chilly. Tasmania getting some snow showers. There's a strong upper level low just to the west of there. The weather has cleared in New Zealand for the most part, but they are much colder now in the wake of that storm system that moved through. South America continues to get buffeted with more winter weather. Southern Argentina, there's a huge system that's going to be moving through there, probably going to dump a lot of snow there. Blizzard over the Antarctic Peninsula. from that same low pressure area. And that's pretty much it on the weather for now. So I am going to, well, I'm supposed to have the kayak back by 4 p.m. And the nice thing is, and there's a blue heron over there. I don't know if you can see it. It's just sitting there, that log. I can zoom it in. Yeah, there's a blue heron sitting right on that log there. Looks pretty huge. Canadian geese. So yeah, I have to have this boat back by 4 p.m. But the nice thing again is that the end of the run is right in town, so I will not even have to go back to the place. The place is 3 miles outside of town. I walked it this morning. The road was very narrow, very busy. It's not an easy road to walk down, so I'm glad I will not have to walk it back. There is a kayaker up ahead of me. Try to zoom it in. And that blue heron is still sitting there on that log. It's not moved. So yeah, it already is past 1 o'clock. I still have 7 more miles, a bit more than 7 miles, but I should be able to do it in probably, with a lunch stop, I should be there by 4 o'clock, easy. Because the river is running pretty good. They said the water is actually much higher than normal for August right now. So that is going to be it for this video. The rapid Class 2 is around the bend again. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to attempt it. So I'm going to end this video.